Ladies and gentlemen, I am Blue, as most of you already know, and this is Monday Night Show Matches. I'm going to be joined today by someone new, actually. Joining me today is going to be Sireph. How you doing today?
Hey, Blue, I'm doing fine. How are you this fine evening?
Pretty good, pretty good. So tonight, for you guys, we're going to have Lords of the Dead taking on Retired Playas. We have not done Lords of the Dead before, so they're going to be somewhat new. However, Retired Playas has been in here before, so it's going to be interesting to see how they turn out today. Are you ready to get into the match, Sireph?
Well, I am exactly ready, and you are exactly correct. These guys are raring to go. Let's get things started, Blue.
Alright, let's do it. Over to the Guild Wars 2 cam. Now let's take a look at their builds and stuff, starting off on the red team, Lords of the Dead. We've actually already looked at them, so we're going to go over them pretty quickly here. Lords of the Dead's Guardian is going to be pretty interesting. It looks like he's trying to run with an anti-engineer / ranged build, running with 6 runes of Soldier and the double shout. Actually choosing to use Signet of Resolve. Over on his trade, 0, 0, 10, 30, 30. So a very defensive build he's going to be running here to be able to take a lot of damage. However, he does have some things out of the ordinary, considering his Signet of Resolve and Wall of Reflection, which will be used to counter the NG. Anton Snake Eyes is going to be running what appears to be a pretty usual damage build for a Thief with Dagger, Pistol, and Short Bow. 6 runes of the Scholar, and his build, 25, 30, 0, 0, 15. Vifray.
It's actually a Viper. He's
Viper.
his own chat.
Oh, so Viper over here, opening up him to see what he's got under the hood. 6 runes of the Ogre, a staff for pre-game buffing, so it looks like actually, based on that, it's going to more than likely be DD, Dagger, with 0, 20 points in air magic. Actually, he's going to go for that. Aura's Grant Fury and Swiftness when equipped. 20 points in water magic, and 30 points in Arcana. Obscene X is going to be running a Shatter build here, with a little more defensive, however, with the staff. He will be running Sword and Focus with a Berserker's Amulet, and his build, 2020 0030. Finally, last but not least, Sanjo will be running a Beastmaster build with Sword, Dagger, Axe Torch, a Shaman's Amulet, his build being 0030 1030. That's going to wrap up Lords of the Dead. What do you think about their overall composition here, Sireph?
You know, I'm loving their overall composition. Lords of the Dead are running something that can work together very well. A Guardian to keep people off point, and at the same time reduce the damage overall coming from ranged players. You've got the Thief that can run around and do the damage he needs to, accompanied by an Ellie, a Mesmer, and a Ranger. This is a pretty, I don't want to say standard, but it's a very diverse and very full of utility group, I would say.
And something interesting I wanted to point out as well with Sanj here, he's got a Moa as one of his pets.
Not just a Moa, my friend. That is a black Moa.
So it's going to be interesting to see how he uses that, more than likely on close point, but we could see some surprises from him as well. But let's move on to Team Retired Playas. We have seen them before, but they're here again now to show themselves off in tonight's show match. First we're looking at are the very confusing culmination of symbols here, but he chooses to go by O. Taking a look at his stuff here. Yes, Ali, it is Sireph with me. Running with 7 runes of Dwayna, an Axe Torch, Sword Dagger, as well as a Shaman's Amulet. Over to here, running with 0030 1030. I believe the same exact build that Sand is running, but he's choosing to use his utilities a little bit differently. Fugazi, I think I said it right today.
Absolutely.
Fugazi here, opening up, see what she's got. 6 runes of the Monk, actually. What that's going to do is when she pops her elite, all the nearby allies are going to gain Aegis, and as well, she's going to have a 5% chance to gain health when hit on a 10-second cooldown. She's going to have his staff as well as Scepter Focus. Kind of an interesting choice in the weapons there with Scepter Focus, but it's going to be interesting to see how that plays out. A Cleric's Amulet over to the traits 0030 30 10, choosing to not go down that Virtues line. Fugazi, I think I said it right? I said it correct, right?
I have no idea. I assume those. It's Fungwazi.
Wait,
no.
I said it right, yeah.
Okay.
She's trolling me in the chat. Sorry about that. But she is going to choose to go full 30 points into Valor, which is going to allow her applying a boon is going to heal her, so it seems that actually a pretty nice choice considering running with Stand Your Ground, Save Yourselves, and Hold the Line, so it's going to be pretty good to see how that goes off. Let's move on to... They actually have 2 Thieves here. I just want to point that out. And they're both seem to be running pretty similar builds here. They're both going to be running Sword Dagger, which tends to have them be sort of jumpier Thieves, I could say, just to put it in the simplest terms possible. The Infanta. Infanta, who is a fill-in for today, by the way, for them, will be running with 6 runes of the Scholar, Berserker's Amulet, his traits, full 30 points in Deadly Arts and Critical Strikes, and then 10 points into Trickery. Trick Shots, the engineer over here, I believe he's going to be running an HGH build. It looks to be that 2 runes of might stacking HGH build with 2 runes of Lissa, 2 runes of Fire, and 2 runes of Strength here. Pistol, Rabbit Amulet, and his traits 30, 10, 0, 30, so that's going to be HGH, very high damage, very lethal, but also pretty easy to kill as well. Finally, last but not least, we have Zambrini playing the second thief for this team, running with 6 runes of the Scholar, Sword Dagger, just as we said before, also running Sword Dagger is Infinata here, with another short bow, a Berserker's Amulet, his traits 30, 30, 0, 0, 10. So what do you think about their comp, actually? Let's focus on the 2 thieves here. What do you think that they're planning to use there?
You know, the build comp, rather, that uses 2 thieves, I can see this team using a lot of sort of juking maneuvers. Rather, so let's say 2 thieves run around a map, and they have this sort of... well, Blue, they have a ganking ability that's unparalleled. I don't know how else to say it, my man. Like, well, go ahead.
Looking at what Jumper was doing yesterday in the...
Wait, did we lose something?
Why?
No? You just cut out, my friend.
I did?
Yeah, I just lost you entirely.
On... I don't know. On Skype, you mean?
Yeah, you just stopped me. Anyway, let's get back into this discussion about this build.
Right, sorry about
composition.
So anyway, like I was saying, Jumper the other day was running a build almost exactly like this. He's able to move around and actually put some pretty hefty crits on. So having 2 of those on the blue team is only going to allow them to do that like double the amount there. So
absolutely,
it's pretty interesting to see how he pulls off those ganks, or how both of them actually pull off those ganks and really try to just hurt the red team. But I think that wraps up our pregame show. Are you ready to go, Sireph?
Yes, I am. How about you?
I'm pretty ready to go, so let's get this going, guys. We're going to get the teams to go ahead now. And we're going to get ready to go here. So keep in mind, guys, this is a best of 5. I believe we are on the standard tournament rotation, if this map is correct at all. No, never mind, that's my arena. I'm not sure of the rotation on this map, but I think we're on the standard rotation. The first Thief, Forest, Legacy, and Kylo maps. I could be wrong on that, though. But this is a best of 5, so the first team to 3 points will win the official set, and I think if they are running all 5 maps, I think we're still going to stick around for the last 2 as well.
Absolutely. No telling what kind of action we'll see today. These teams, they actually, I got the chance to talk to them beforehand. They haven't scrimmed with each other, but we'd like to do a quick shout out to Clan Lead for letting us borrow the Infanta for the Team Playas Club. These guys sort of have, they're telling us that they have a chemistry that is working for them in terms of scrims and in terms of tournaments, as does the Lords of the Dead guild. Blue, what have you seen from either of these clans, these teams, that really puts them apart from other teams?
Well, that's actually not a good question to ask because both of these teams are very new, so there's not a lot to bring up in that perspective. I've seen Club play once before. They definitely run some interesting strategies, to say the least. So they've definitely maybe catching Team Lords of the Dead off guard. But I have never seen Lords of the Dead play before, so I really can't tell you there.
All right, well, I'm interested to see what both teams are going to start doing. The game is starting in 8 seconds. We've got Lords of the Dead versus Playas Club. Let's see what's going on with the beginning split in 1 second.
Fortunately, had that bit of pregame lag there, but we did see a bunch of buffs actually go out over here on blue team. It's a pretty nice, hefty buff set there, but let's open up the map and see where they're going. We do have a cross for Club, actually.
Absolutely. It looks like we've got the engineer and the thief from Club. Oh, looks, there goes my client. 1 second, guys. As I jump back into it, over at mine, we've got Sanjo and Obscene being taken on by Zambini X and the Infanta. Also, trick shots over here.
Goes down there. Obscene will instantly go down, get bursted down. It looks that Sanj is the only one left, and he's going to go down as well. That amazing gank with the 2 thieves both came in there, as well as the grenades here being thrown from the bush by trick shots. Nice play by Team Club, getting that initial decap there off, and I think they're going to get this point, actually. It's a very nice play, and they're still contesting middle.
They're absolutely not going to be they're not going to be even approached on mine yet. Meanwhile, in the keep, we've got Akuma playing as under Gizmo's cousin, taking on Fugazi heals. Fugazi, of course, running the Guardian build that we saw before, Staff and Scepter Focus. This is a sort of defensive build, but she gets mowed. It looks like Red Team's going to come down and spike her as well. Can she get away? It doesn't look like it. We've got Anton Snake Eyes coming up, begin to spike down. She goes down. Now, can she pull everyone away, or are they just going to pop this ability? Let's find out.
There'll be a smoke field going down there, which is going to prevent her from knocking back. Nice job by Antoine spotting that there right on time, and they're going to take her out. And it looks like Red Team's going to get that footing ground they need in order to move themselves on. They do actually still have contention here, and another burst from Infinata. Nicely done. They're really on top of these two members of the Red Team. Instantly get knocked out. That's going to hurt them.
This is beginning to be this horrible slaughter almost. It looks like Zero is over on Henge defending the point from Sanjo. Let's go in with Sanjo, see what he's doing with his Beast Mastery build, popping his swords out and just rolling around, doing lots of damage. Meanwhile, Red is beginning to take mine again. Keep is a blue point as well. Let's go in with the Infanta here on Henge, beginning to spike down on Sanjo, but it looks like he's going to be
using his dodges there pretty nicely. This is one of the perks of a Beastmaster build. You may not be the most utilitarian sort of character, but you have a crapload of dodges. Unfortunately, as we just saw there, they're not going to last you forever, and once you're out, people like Infinata here are going to take you out pretty easily, so he's going to go down. Sanj will be knocked out as well. We're going to have Vifir here in the middle. Will pop his misform. He's pretty close to death. He does have teammates nearby, but they're taking a lot of damage in the process of resing. Fugazi's also down. We have a Shadow Refuge go down, and it looks like they're going to get Viper up here. Fugazi is still down, though. And it looks like they're actually going to both get each other up. There was almost a stomp that went off there. Unfortunately, it did not get off in time. So Club and Lords of the Dead are still in this mid-fight.
Yep, Lords of the Dead is not giving up yet. They want to push back. It looks like Viper's going down one more time. Anton Snake Eyes coming in, trying to burst down as much as the other thieves are, but he's not doing as much as they are. He's going to try and get the stomp down on Infanta. Looks like he's got it. Uh-oh.
It looks like Blue Team's going to defend this point successfully. Not really looking good for the Red Team at the moment. Team Retired Players is currently up at 221 points with 2 capture points contested, or with 2 capture points held, rather. Meanwhile, Lords of the Dead is only at 84 points. They need to make a play here, sort of possibly sneak around the back, go over to Henge or something, in order to bring themselves back into this.
Absolutely, and it looks like we've got a raiding party from Gizmo's cousin Orkuma coming over to Henge, trying to push into blue territory, trying to get the points he needs to come back. Again, 250 to 93 in blue's favor. This is not looking great. We've got Spawnier returning, but it doesn't look like anyone's pushing up to it yet. We've got Anton Snake Eyes trying to get a stomp down onto the Infanta, being juked at first, but now he's going to go down, except for Infanta, who is actually going to be damaged down right now. Going in with Obscene X, he's going to run up towards Keep. He's going to try to contest the point, but waiting for him is Fugazi. Let's see what Fugazi can do to try and keep him off point. Looks like he's putting down that line of warding, and that's just going to do a lot of work for him, keeping 3 people away from him, man.
As we said here with Fugazi's build, she's really a lot of like anti-ranged here. She's a lot of stuff she can throw out in the distance. And oh no, we have another Momo coming in here, so she's gonna be in trouble. She will back out. Zambrini's also gonna be in trouble here because he does have to, because we do see that Chaos Storm go down, and unfortunately Zambini's gonna be right in the middle of that. Fugazi here, nice choice going down on the point though. She's gonna be able to contest it. Zambini, although come in here with the Shadow Refuge and get Fugazi up. Nice play, and they're still holding the point contested. Excellent job by Club.
So skillful by players from Team Players Club. Fugazi managing to rally off that, keeping Anton Snake Eyes and Obscene X off, but Obscene X is going to get shrouded by the Shadow Refuge. Looks like Anton Snake Eyes and Obscene X are not done. Let's look at mine, where there's a huge battle going down between Trick Shots and 2 players from LOTD. Looks like Akuma and Sanjo are here. Sanjo, who's used to kind of bunker. Let's see if we can keep Trick Shots off, and see if Akuma can do what he can to keep bunkered.
Now, something I'm noticing here is on both sides, both of these Guardians are going down really fast for what we normally see here. I don't know if it's their builds. Gizmo seems to be a little bit more normal here, running with 00, 10, 30, 30. It's somewhat of something we see on a lot of other Guardians as well. But unfortunately, I think his choice of weaponry here is sort of working against him, and it's really allowing him to die a lot quicker than he could have been with possibly another weapon choice. Meanwhile, on Fugazi's point of view here, her build is very different, to say the least. It's very selfish. Actually, no, I'll cancel that. It has a lot of buffing capabilities as well as a lot of self-healing, but In general, both these Guardians are playing a lot differently. They're going down a lot quicker than we would normally expect. I actually just went over to Infinata's point of view, and these thieves are really all over the place.
They are just doing a ridiculous amount of damage, jumping all over the map, man. Look at him go in on Sancho. Sancho, the bunker ranger, just trying to do a lot, trying to heal Anton Snake Eyes, but if Infanta can break this stun and jump in, she can gank him from behind, critting, and then jumping away, critting again, look at that crit. That was 3 crits in a row, man.
We did actually see Anton get up. However, Sanj is going to pay a hefty price for that, as he did take a lot of damage. He managed to throw down that healing spring, so he's going to be back in the game. However, and it actually looks like Infinata's going to go down, and blue team is going to take that game there.
Absolutely.
Almost completely. They really, those thieves, in my opinion, really made those plays there. Nicely done by the blue team.
That was such an intense game, but look at the scores right now. It's 145 rather to 504. That game, while being ridiculously close in terms of team fights, in terms of score, was not that close at all. Looking at the scoreboard, Brainy X is topping at 150. Anton Snake Eyes on the other team only got 49 points.
We would like to note, however, that as it was just said in map chat, the Viper did make a rather fatal mistake there. He was unfortunately stuck in his staff, which is part of the reason why he wasn't able to help out as much as he could have to his team there.
Well, that is a mistake that can cost you the game. As we saw just now, the second map right now is Legacy of the Foefire. Blue, this map brings back so many memories of Guild Wars 1 fun times, Guild Lord and all. Oh my goodness! Remember that one map? I
didn't play Guild Wars 1.
You didn't play Guild Wars 1?
No.
Oh my man.
You should have asked me these questions before we started.
That is all right. It's okay. We still love you, though you will probably take some beating for this on Reddit. Anyway, let's get this game started. If the players are all ready, it looks like, so going over the basics of this map, there are 3 capture points: the waterfall, the graveyard, and the quarry. Of course, there are the home bases for each team, and in each home base, there is a guild lord. And go ahead, Blue, tell us what this guild lord does when you kill it.
Alright guys, when you kill the opposite team's guild lord, what that's going to do for you is it's going to give your team an additional 150 points. So once you've gained control of enough points to get yourself up to 350 points, you can rush in that lord, and if you manage to kill him successfully, then you can really you can end the game right there. So we do see a lot of rush plays, a lot of desperate plays going for it, and it sometimes can completely turn the game around. So keep your eyes on that, guys. It's going to be exciting, and I think we're just about ready to get in the game.
Absolutely. Now, as a reminder, there are some games that end very quickly due to Guild Lord rushes. So I'm really anticipating lots of clutch plays coming from both of these teams. They were very, very skilled. Hopefully we get to see the red team make up for the loss we saw in the beginning, the 145 points to 504 points deficit. Let's hope that we can see the Lords of the Dead make a comeback of the century.
And I just gave the teams the ready up order, so as soon as Team Club is ready to go here, we're going to get the match started. It's going to be really interesting to see how Team Lords of the Dead adjust themselves. Hopefully Viper is going to get his staff de-equipped this time and go back to what I believe was Dagger.
Yes,
which should have been running normally. Unfortunately, with him and staff, he really wasn't able to do much because of that. So it really hurt him there in the end. So hopefully that's going to make the difference there, and it's going to allow Lords of the Dead to really come back in this and really show Team Club what they're made of.
Absolutely. Now, for those who don't know, Blue, can you tell us what the difference is in terms of skills and damage and whatever that a staff does and as opposed to a dagger build?
Well, in general, for most weapons on most classes, staff is generally going to be a little bit more of a defensive/supportive weapon. You're going to get a lot of AoE skills, a lot of healing skills, and a lot of stuff that's going to allow you to stand back, keep yourself out of the fight, and just allow you to either deal damage or heal your teammates or CC from afar. With Dagger, he's going to be in a lot of close-range combat. He's going to have some range utilities, but he's mainly going to be constricted to very close-range, melee range for the most part combat here. If he would have been running Scepter Dagger, which is usually used in a defensive choice, he could have been able to, while use range, he wouldn't have, generally at least saying that Scepter Dagger is used for defensive purposes. Scepter Dagger, he wouldn't be able to do much damage, but he'd be able to provide a lot of team support to his team.
Absolutely. Now, I think that we're going to be start seeing a lot more teamwork and communication from the red team this time. They're taking their time right now, it seems, or the blue team rather, to just nail down the strats they need. They want this victory. They need it so bad. Remember, this is a best of 5. The first to 3 maps wins.
Yeah.
Now, let's talk about communication. This is something that is essential and is crucial to any team comp. Do you think that let's try and rate these teams on a sort of scale? Blue team seems to have it down. Red team, do you think that they come back just on strategy alone, or is it something more? Is there a build order thing? Is there some other quality that they lack that they need to come back?
Well, I mean, like I said, I don't really know Lords of the Dead, so I can't really compliment on their strategy. We are getting started here, so we're going to see in just a second. But in terms of builds, in my opinion, they should have the general advantage, because Club is running a very unorthodox build, in my opinion. We do have a bit of pregame lag going on again, I think. No, actually, we're good. In general, based on just the comp alone, Lords of the Dead would be winning if we were rating it on that, because Club is running as I said before, very unorthodox comp. It does still have that pretty even split. Actually, speaking of the splits, take it away, because the game has started here.
Yep, it looks like we've got 3 members of the red team coming into Graveyard 2 to quarry, and we've got only Fugazi from the blue team coming in to the Graveyard. Meanwhile, we've got the 2 thieves and the engineer from the blue team going in to quarry. It looks like Fugazi is taking the 3v1 in stride, being kind of taken around. Let's go in with her, see what goes on. So many conditions, so many buffs, managing to block popping all of her utilities there. Oh my god, Blue, she has managed to take this.
This is some amazing strategy. We've seen this on both maps now, and I think they were sort of ready for it this time, but at the same time they weren't ready for it. You notice they did the same exact thing they did on the last map, and they did it beautifully. Both the thieves come in, pull off a gank, and then what happens here is we see trick shots, and we're seeing it again here on middle point. He gets up to a ledge where he really can't be pursued that easily, and he just starts tossing grenades while the CCs are rolling for the thieves. It's really nice chain combo. I think it would actually be good enough to possibly move up to another caliber to take on some of the bigger teams. I think they would even have some issues with that. So it's a really nice thought process there by Club to use that strategy.
Yes, and we're seeing Anton getting his spike down. Viper's going to be defending the waterfall point, it looks like, but none of these points are actually capped. They're both neutral. The quarry and the graveyard looks like waterfall is finally being defended a little bit by Zero, while Viper is coming back in. Meanwhile, back at the graveyard, Fugazi has forced everybody off point. Red team is kind of scattered. We've got Anton, Snake Eyes, and Obscene next trying to come in. Meanwhile, at the quarry, Sancho doing what he does best, getting the objective play done. It would be safe to say that Sancho is sort of one of the objective players on this game. Meanwhile, in the graveyard, we've got Fugazi going up against Obscene X. What can he do here to sort of take Fugazi down? I guess we're seeing a MOA. We're
going to see the MOA here, but unfortunately Obscene, a solo one-on-one MOA is not really going to be enough, especially with him running Staff. If he'd been running Greatsword, which is a lot more of an offensive weapon, he might have been able to take him down one-on-one, but due to him, and unfortunately, in all honesty, if I was Obscene, I would have waited until just this moment to pop that MOA, because if he had gotten it off now, 99% probability that Fugazi would have gone down there, and unfortunately he's now paying the price because we do have the thieves from the blue team jumping in once again to sort of just knock out these players one by one. They really are having a tough time countering this, unfortunately.
You're absolutely correct, my friend. Looks like Fugazi's going to get the stomp in on Obscene. Zambrini's in here doing like a lot of spiking damage, supporting Fugazi, making sure that this point stays there, and of course Trick Shots is raining hell upon the graveyard. Meanwhile, Sandra's not really contributing that much. He's keeping his point bunked, but everything else is sort of really going in blue team's favor. Anton Snake Eyes managing to drop Infanta down to the downstate, but Zero has it covered. He's going to pop his Shadow Refuge while Obscene goes to the waterfall, and he's just going to try and take the heat off of Anton while he heals up here. Let's go in with Zero. See him try and defend against Obscene. It's not going to be that much of a problem. Obscene going to take this fight 2v1, and it's not going to be a hard cleanup for blue team here, man.
I actually want to direct your attention real quick over to Trick Shots, and again, we're seeing it here. They are starting to do it now, so my point is going to be countered. But one of the mistakes that Red Team is really making here is they're really not going, and keep in mind, guys, both these teams are very new, so they're learning. This is a learning process for both of them. But one of the mistakes I think that Lord of the Dead is really making here is they're really not focusing on Trick Shots. Trick Shots, in my opinion, or just really any HGH or grenade NG, should be a first priority target, because while they can do a crap ton of damage, like we've seen here, he's completely wiped the Lords of the Dead quite a few times. They're very susceptible to burst, and they really don't have a lot of cooldowns to stop themselves from going down. Even him here, he's not running an Elixir R, so after he's popped his Elixir S, he's got nothing left to defend himself.
Yeah, it looks like Trick Shots really is that sort of linchpin that blue team has in keeping red entirely locked down. It is 279 points to 68, and Sanjo is just now coming in with the rest of his team to try and take their home point. I actually don't see them taking it, though. Look at this sort of foothold he's got here with all of his turrets set up. This is going to be hard for Red Team to take, but now that there's more people in here, it's a high possibility of seeing X and Sanjo working together. But Zambrini's here, and oh man.
And again, 3 members of Lords of the Dead just out. It's really unfortunate here. Infinata is at some point here sort of just not even allowing them to get out of their base. Lords of the Dead really needs to get a foothold here. Team Club is actually at the point now where they could rush Lord if they wish to. It's really unfortunate to see this happening here. I think Club really got their stuff together from last week. They've got a solid strategy, and it's working really well for them right now.
Absolutely, and it's worth mentioning that Infante, of course, is the sub from Clan Leader. It's just the team synergy, I would say, is so on point for the blue team here. 397, going to be 400 to 68, entirely locked down for Red. Not even a Guild Lord fight could save them.
Actually, yeah, there's already been a GG called, so very unfortunately for Lords of the Dead, they are going to lose the second round as well here.
Oh man, I mean, with that, we're going to see blue team go up 2-0. Can the red team take it back?
Well, I really don't know, man.
I will say yes.
You will say yes.
I will say yes because I root for the underdog, and I believe in the guys in Lord of the Dead. They're a team that has been together since basically the beginning of Guild Wars 2. They haven't exactly focused on SPVP entirely since release, but they have that sort of camaraderie that can bring them through in tough spots. They can totally play from behind if they need to, and I think that they're very capable of taking this on if they take the time in between games and now really examine what Club is doing with their Double Thief build, and of course with trick shots. They can totally dismantle it if they just know how to do it.
Yeah. Really just this nicely played there by Lords, or not by Lords, sorry, by Team Club. They really just had the lockdown there. The Double Thief strategy, along with chaining it together with trick shots, is working brilliantly, amazingly.
It's also worth mentioning that trick shots just pop that Elixir X stomp, and they win, and then he goes to sleep.
Yeah. So like we said, blue team took that round. Actually going to take a look now. I want to see what the viewers think. What do you think that Lords of the Dead could be doing here to change up their strategy? What could they be doing more to sort of improve their strategy here for the next map? They do only have, unfortunately, one more chance to bring themselves back into this.